Hey friends, welcome in. My name is Autumn, and today is going to be a writing vlog. I am so excited for this video. I know I said this in my last writing update, which if you haven't seen that, I'm going to leave it linked down below because I literally talk about all three of my projects, where I'm at, the goals that I have for the summer. A good solid update because it's been like 2 years since I've really dedicated my channel to writing and talking about my stories, my current work in progress or progresses. Works in progresses. Yeah, I think that's the right word. This video is going to be the first vlog actually kicking it off. Now, for today, I am going to be working on Project Ice. This is my high fantasy adventure story. The objective here is to finish outlining draft 2. I also want to work on the world map very loosely. I don't want to get too wild and crazy with it or anything. It's June 1st and I have all intentions on filming for the next 14 days, but I work half of it. The goal is to write about 2 chapters or outline 2 chapters because I have 14 chapters until I'm finished with this outline. It'll be great pacing. It's going to be very doable too, since it's been so long since I've really dedicated time to writing. It's a great little stepping my toe back into writing more consistently. That is the goal. It's almost 3. Okay. And I may or may not have been playing Sims since I woke up. I am currently pulling up the Excel sheet and the Google Doc, and I am expanding on the few bullet points into more paragraph form. I mean, it's not like heavy duty writing or anything. We're just kind of expanding on the outline, but I need to find it. There we go. I will probably talk to you guys tomorrow when I have an update on what I've been working on today and all that hot jazz. I am currently on chapter 46 for this outline. The story is told in multiple POVs. I think I need to go back to the previous few chapters from this person's perspective. It's been since February since I've worked on this story, so I really don't remember a whole lot. It's gonna take me a little beat there to get back into it. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but thank you for hanging out with me in this video, and stay tuned for all the writing updates. I am actually here to give you an update, and it's not even an update about the work in progress. It's because I'm an idiot. I completely just told you guys the wrong chapter that I was on. I'm not on chapter 47. I think that, or what did I say, 46? I'm not on chapter 46. This is why I cannot play video games, because it's brain rot. I'm on chapter 42, not 46, not 48, not 87. I'm on chapter 42 in the outline out of 55. Now that math should be mathing, and that math should make sense. Sorry about that. That was definitely miscommunication there, but now I'm gonna get back to writing. Happy day 2 of the vlog. I've spent the morning doing some video editing. I ran to the coffee shop to get some more coffee beans. I picked up my Walmart curbside, and I picked up Crash's litter from PetSmart. It was a little bit of a busy morning, but it didn't require a whole heck of a lot of effort. It's noon now, so I have 3 tasks that I would like to do for the remainder of today. I need to do some more video editing. I want to write, and I want to do a little bit of reading. When I read, I usually will just pop in my audiobook, do meal prepping, or I'll do a little bit of cleaning, anything that's really not a lot of mental work. Doing meal prepping for the week, that literally is no brain power at all, and I can just sit and listen. So I'll do one of those 3 tasks for the next 2 hours, one of the other tasks for the next 2 hours, final one for the last 2 hours. And there's a little bit of wiggle room in there. I work for the next couple of days, so I have some laundry that I would like to get done. So after I put away the groceries, I'll see where I'm at, and I might grab some lunch and maybe do a little bit of the writing. I feel like that would be good to just, I don't want to say get the writing out of the way, but while I still have a good decent amount of, brain power, I think I want to do that, because if I don't, I'll just be thinking about it all day. So yesterday I wrote my 2 chapters, and don't look at the sink behind me. It's been a rough couple of days, okay? I did end up outlining the next 2 chapters. I think it was 42 and 43. I feel pretty good about it. One of the chapters, the character, she traveled to the central hub where all of these other characters are. She did that in her last chapter. It was somewhere in chapter 30s, somewhere around there. So it's been about 10 chapters since she's departed. She is back into her kingdom and she has noticed some weird things going on. That was chapter 43, and now for chapter 42, that chapter followed. She's the antagonist. I love this character so much. I really want her to be such a complicated and complex character. I also want her to be morally gray. Now, I don't feel like she is there quite yet, like the writing and creating her. I need to work harder at, making her be more convincing, but I have plans for her. We just have to get there. But I love the concept of this character. I really look forward to sharing her story and sharing how she sees the world. I want her to be so morally gray. The overall goal I have for that character is I really want her to be someone where you despise her so much, but you can't help but love her. I love reading about those kinds of characters. I'm gonna put the groceries away. We will chat in a couple of hours. I have made tons of writing progress today. I am so excited to talk about it. I decided to outline 3 chapters today. It was chapter 44, 46, and 47 because chapter 45 was the one that I had already outlined previously whenever I did that. I remember having those thoughts, but I can honestly not tell you guys where in the timeline in the last 2 years I did whatever I did for that chapter. But I reread what I had outlined and I was like, oh, that's right. Yeah, no, I like this. We're going to keep this. This means I only have 8 more chapters to outline until I'm finished with the outline for draft 2. If you follow Save the Cat, the beat sheet, so chapter 44 was my break into 3. I ended on the finale, which is point 1, gathering the team. I am so pumped for this. I want to talk a little bit of how I've been structuring the outline for each of these chapters because I've just been bullet pointing and expanding on those bullet points. For chapter 8, I say whatever, chapter 48, I have the character's POV, the main plot, 2 sections for 2 subplots, a section for world building, magic, and the setting. I know more of these 3 things. I'm not focused on them too much. It's just more of like where they're at in the world, what parts of the magic system I want to introduce, adding more of the world building. And I will say that those have been not neglected, but they've just been not quite as beefy as the plot or the subplots or anything like that because that comes with time. I do have one final point, which is just introduce what characters am I introducing in this chapter. Eventually, I want to have a section where it's not necessarily introduce, it's more of like what characters are going to be in this chapter. I did the introduce when I started this outline to get an idea of how many characters I have because then I can start to either combine characters or maybe create more characters if I need a certain someone in this scene and I haven't introduced that person yet. I work for the next couple of days, so I will not be writing. If I do 2 more chapters every day and I have 8 chapters left, that's for the next 4 days. And that would be for my next 4 off days, which would actually be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I work Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Then I have Thursday and Friday off. That would give me more time to work on the world building and do a little bit more of the map, get the poster board that I talked about in my previous video. Those are the goals. We're on track and I feel really solid about what we've been doing. As of right now, I don't know if I'm going to include any of my other projects in this video. I'm talking about Project Traveling Bards, which is my cozy fantasy, or my psychological thriller, which is called Project Getaway. I'm not sure if we're going to touch on them at all this week. That's where we're at right now. I will see you guys in a few days. I hope you have a great few days. And when I come back, you'll have to tell me all about it. Happy 3rd day, and you're shaking because Crash is getting down from his tree. Say hi, friends. I have had a very productive day. Didn't really vlog too much of it, but I do want to talk about it. Did editing, I went for a walk. It was such a nice day outside, and I listened to an audiobook, the same one that I was listening to in the previous clip. I just finished my writing session. Y'all, I absolutely love this story. I am so happy with the way that I have gone about doing this outline. I know it's been a pain in my butt trying to wrap up this story because I really just want to get to the drafting phase. But honestly, these last two chapters that I outlined, 48 and 49, it made me realize that what I'm doing with this outline for draft 2 is so needed in one of these two chapters, in both technically, because we're like at that point where a lot of the things that were happening in previous chapters, like, or even at the beginning, everything is starting to come full circle. It's really great that I'm doing this outline because I'm getting to some of these points where it's like these big reveals. The final step before the actual reveal, maybe in another chapter, I am going back to chapters in the beginning or chapters in the midsection that have hinted at the things that I'm leading up to that are literally in these chapters. If I feel like I didn't outline or say enough, like, hey, in this chapter, this is what I want to hint at because now it's going to be important, I'm actually putting those notes in previous chapters now, which is honestly the whole point of why I wanted to do this in the first place. It's so nice that that's actually working out. It is a little bit later in the day, and I was actually wanting to print out the draft for Project Traveling Bards. I actually wasn't quite sure if I was going to talk about other works in progress in this video. I'm kind of feeling like I want to, but I have to check and see if I have any printer paper and make sure I have ink for our printer because it's been a hot minute since I've used the printer. Feeling really great. I think that's what I'm going to do for the rest of today. If not, I want to get that draft printed out either today or tomorrow. The way I'm feeling right now about getting back into the story, getting back into more of a consistent writing schedule, I think outlining 2 chapters a day, and yesterday or a couple of days ago, I did 3 chapters. It felt right. Everything I'm doing right now with this story and also with myself, like getting back into writing and being more consistent with everything, it all feels right. That's honestly all I've asked for with myself with getting back into a more consistent writing schedule. So Crash and I counted the number of paper that I had. I am very sad to say that, what did we have, buddy? I think we were at 60. I think I only have 60 something pages and I needed 88. I was looking on Staples, almost at Office Supply. I don't think we have an Office Supply around here. Maybe they're the same thing. Who knows? I don't know. I was looking around to see how much it would cost to print. I mean, it's nothing urgent. I'm also a little concerned about the printer ink that I have. We haven't used our printer in a really long time. And so I'm like, do I buy the ink? Do I buy more paper for the few times a year that I'm going to be printing my story? And I say few times a year, this is literally the first time I've ever done that. I don't know if it's going to be worth the expense. So what I was looking at was to see how much it cost to just send off this horrible manuscript and have some other human print it off and bind it for me, and I just go and get it. I might do that. I need to look a little bit more into it. If they just printed out the 88 pages, stapled them together, I would be fine with that. It does not need to be anything special. It was 32 cents a page. I did the math and it was a little less than $30. So I actually might do that instead of printing it out. And he's actually still sitting on the ground laying on the paper. So he's happy. He's a happy boy right now because there's paper on the ground. I will see you tomorrow, probably in the evening as well, because we have a pottery class in the morning that we're going to go to. I'm super excited about it. I have only done pottery one time before, and my fiance has never done pottering. So it's going to be a very fun experience, and I cannot wait. Don't know what else I have in the lineup for tomorrow, but yeah, so that's it for today. I have not talked to you guys since
Saturday, I think. I don't think I gave an update on Saturday. It was just me spinning in the desk chair. Full transparency, I had a family member die, I say over the weekend, but on Friday. I really did not feel like picking up the camera and updating you guys this weekend. I did write. I have been writing, but I just did not feel like updating. I want us to have a conversation today. Now, did I know that I was going to have this interview on Monday? I did not. It was literally an all-day process. Writing wise, I am not gonna write today though, but we're fine because it's only the 8th. I'm technically filming this video until the 14th. So I only have 2 chapters left to write until I'm finished with the loose goals that I set for myself for June for Project Ice. Let me talk about the 4 chapters that I have written. I probably won't have time to do some world building in this video like I thought that I would, because my original plan as I was writing, I was thinking that I may have actually been able to finish the outline today, and then I could have spent my next 2 free days this week working on world building and getting the poster and all that. Things don't always go according to plan, and that's fine. You know, life is what it is and everything will be okay. I will not do any heavy world building in this video. We'll just finish the outline. Speaking about the outline, the next 4 chapters that I was supposed to write, I feel like it was maybe 49, 50, 51, 52. I think that's right. These last 4 chapters have been incredibly satisfying to outline. I am tying up all those loose ends, all of the things that we've been building up to. These 4 chapters have been like boom, 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 closing those doors. You know, since I'm wanting this to be a duology, kind of sneaking another door open in there, working on where all of these characters are going to end up. I feel like for each of these writing sessions, I don't want to say they have come easy because yesterday, and actually this whole weekend for these last 4 chapters, it's been tougher to write them, and I think it's just personal things that have made it a little more difficult to concentrate. I am really proud of the progress that I have made this weekend working on those 4 chapters. One of the characters, it's her last chapter in this book. It was a little emotional, but it could have been emotional because of everything else that's been going on. I'm feeling really great where I am at, where my characters are. I've got 2 chapters left, and I cannot wait to write them. I want to write them when I'm in a slightly better headspace, so it's going to be my next day off because I'm going to work for the next 2 days. Well, I work tomorrow and then the funeral is the following day, and so then I'll have 2 days off of work. On that first day off that I was scheduled for, I'm gonna finish outlining this story. It's been a great experience. I know that's such a short and kind of baloney update. It's been a little crazy these last couple of days, this whole weekend, honestly. And then into today, I think for the rest of today, I'm going to change and get comfortable because I do not ever dress like this. If I get this position, I might have to start dressing like this, but we will cross that bridge when we get there. For the rest of today, I am going to get into cozy clothes. I have a box. Well, there's 2 boxes here, but in the big box, I bought bread stuff. I have been getting into making bread a lot more, which was actually really funny because now that I'm coming back to watching more content on YouTube and trying to get back into the community, I noticed that a lot of other people were also making bread, and I'm like, are we bread sisters? I thought that was so funny. Everyone's starting to make bread and sourdough all at the same time, and I'm like, look at us finding the little things in life that make us happy. For the rest of today, I am going to meal prep for my next couple of days of work, listen to an audiobook. The audiobook that I am going to listen to and hopefully finish is going to be A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. It's a reread. I am having a lot more fun the second time around. I hope that you're doing well. If you are still here in the video, comment down a little green heart below so I know that you're still with me. Happy day 5? Actually might be day 6. Happy day 6. I hope you're still here with me. I hope your writing has been going great in the last week. I've been making some hella progress. It is very late in the day and I have yet to do my writing for the day 6. And you know what that means? I am going to be writing the last 2 chapters of my high fantasy adventure novel. And I am so excited. I had an opportunity to potentially do it yesterday, but yesterday was the funeral. I really just needed to not push myself. I am here. I am excited. I also have in here that I got from Staples. This is the Cozy Fantasy. I was going to do an unboxing and talk about it and go through all the things in this video, but it's already getting a little long and this was really not the point of the video. So next week's video is actually going to be me going through this, showing you guys everything that has to do with this draft being printed. Stay tuned for that. Also, pardon the wet hair look. I went outside and I took a walk. It's a hot one out there in South Georgia today. It was shower time after my afternoon walk. It is June 11th right now, and I am going to write the last 2 chapters in my high fantasy adventure. I'm really excited. It's been a long time coming because I'm just so ready to wrap up this outline, get to actually drafting and figuring out how I want to draft it, what we're going to be doing, and the word counts and everything. So if you want to continue to follow this story, I think probably in a couple of videos, we're going to be talking about all of the game plan, the nitty gritty for this project. Let's go ahead and outline these last 2 chapters. We have chapter 54 and 55 left to write. So for chapter 55, it's a new POV. What a way to end the book. I haven't completely decided if I wanted to do an epilogue. This could kind of act as an epilogue. I've gone back and forth and contemplated if I wanted there to be an actual epilogue because I do have a prologue, an interlude. It feels maybe right, question mark, for this story to have an epilogue considering it has those other 2 parts. Let's get to it. We have reached the end of my manuscript, but also of the video. I am here to say that I completed my outline for draft 2, and it feels fantastic. I am really feeling good about this story. I think that I am in a really great place to start drafting. For the next vlog that's going to revolve around Project Ice, I am going to be setting a word count goal for the entire manuscript. Even though I'm saying it's draft 2, this version of the story is entirely different from draft 1. I am actually going to keep this outline that I have, and this outline is going to be draft 2. So it's all going to be very chaotic and very messy inside that draft. I don't want an outline for draft 2 and then an actual draft 2. We're keeping it all in the same document. I think between now and the next vlog, I'm going to think about an end word count goal for the second draft. Does anybody remember what I said the word count for draft 1 was? I honestly can't remember. I feel like I said it in my last video, but I don't know off the top of my head. I do think that this story needs a few more chapters. This is kind of a scary thing to say. As I was outlining this draft, I don't know if all of the POVs that I have are going to stay. I'm also thinking that there's another character that, as I was outlining, I think that their POV would actually be beneficial to the story. So I have a lot to think about. This story is crazy, and I'll be honest, I don't entirely know what I'm doing. I am just trying my best. Let me talk about these last 2 chapters before I bid you adieu. Chapter 54, this followed a specific POV. I am really stoked about it. This character, oh my gosh, her plot twist, her character development over the story, I just freaking love it, man. I think she is one of the favorites. She's tough. She's a character, that's for sure. I'm really excited to see what she's going to be doing in book 2. The final chapter, chapter 55, we follow a new perspective, and I'm already really excited for that character in book 2 because she's going to present a whole bunch more problems on top of what is already still existing in this world. That is everything that I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a lot from my writing process, but let me know what story you are currently working on and where you're at in your writing journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.